It's my pleasure to join you today at our Vancouver Cabinet offices on the territory of the Musqueam, Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh Nations. I'm here with Premier John Horgan, Minister of Mines and Low Carbon Innovation, and Chris O'Reilly, President and CEO of BC Hydro. Walking in this morning to our offices here at Canada Place, I savoured the sights and sounds that were all around me. The high-rises, the busy road, the waterfront and people everywhere at work and play, businesses and factories and green spaces, and the turning leaves, misty mountains, and ocean under the autumn sky. It's a panorama of life, land, and sea that defines this place we call home on the west coast of British Columbia. It's a view that not only showcases the beauty, diversity, and interconnectedness of our urban, ocean, and national environments, but captures the sweep and scale, the challenge, and the opportunity for climate action. It reminds us why it's so important, and it's why we're here today. And with that, I'd like to introduce Premier John Horgan.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. And I, too, want to acknowledge the traditional territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Peoples. And also my colleague and friend, Minister of Energy, Mines and Low Carbon Economy, Low Carbon Innovation, Bruce Ralston, as well as the CEO of BC Hydro, Chris O'Reilly. From heat waves to wildfires, the devastating effects of climate change are all around us. Although we have multiple crises right now, whether it be the opioid crisis of some 6 years now, of course, the COVID-19 crisis, we also have the extraordinary challenges of trying to deal with a global phenomenon, and that is the warming of the earth and the consequences on human activity. Here in British Columbia, our Clean BC plan is making real progress. We have North America's most progressive plan, and we're regulating emissions of big polluters. We're taking action on targets with accountability, as well as, of course, assisting people in shifting their activities to reduce their carbon footprint and have a cleaner, better life for all of us. But the scale of the climate crisis is enormous, and that requires more activity by government. We need to make sure we are less reliant on fossil fuels. We need to make sure that we can shift away from a fossil fuel economy to a cleaner, greener economy, powered by the water, powered by BC Hydro's clean electricity. We are a powerhouse when it comes to clean electricity. 98% of our electricity is generated through clean, renewable resources. And while we are North America's most aggressive clean power producer, 3/4 of the energy used in British Columbia still depends on fossil fuels, whether it's our cars, whether it's heating and cooking with natural gas, whether it's amounts of fossil fuels. And that needs to change. And that's why we're here today to announce BC Hydro's electrification plan going forward, a path to a cleaner, greener future, powered by BC Hydro's clean electricity. Now, this is an ambitious program that will see over the life of the program a reduction of 900,000 tonnes per year of greenhouse gas emissions. That will take about 200,000 cars off the road, and we can achieve these goals through practical solutions that Bruce will lay out for you in a minute. Those solutions will lead to what we call energy switching, moving away from fossil fuels and taking up more clean, green, electrified options, like offering homeowners rebates for heat pumps. Already a program underway at the federal and provincial level. BC Hydro will now be supplementing those incentives so that we can accelerate the removal of natural gas and oil and other noxious emissions from our heating sources and change those over to clean energy. We'll see more fast charging stations for electric cars, already a hit here in British Columbia. We'll move from BC Hydro's current 98 fast charging stations to 325 over the life of the program. And that will include also encouraging clean businesses to come to British Columbia, to take advantage of that opportunity to use low carbon energy to create more clean, green activity, like hydrogen production or carbon capture technologies. All of these issues can be addressed by having a coordinated plan. And when I appointed Minister Ralston to the job of Energy Minister, I asked him to work with BC Hydro to bring together the Clean BC programs that were in his ministry and make sure that we were supplementing that activity, taking advantage of the competitive opportunity we have by having a well-run, clean energy production facility through BC Hydro's two-river policy and a whole host of other clean, green generation options. It really does separate us from other jurisdictions in Canada and indeed Western North America. Now is the time for British Columbians to work together with BC Hydro to reduce our personal impact on climate change by switching fuels, by moving to a heat pump, by looking at getting that electric car, by doing what we can to encourage our industries to reduce their emissions by attracting new industries that are low emission producing. So with that, I'll pass the microphone back to Kelly Greene, and she'll move it on to talk more about the electrification plan that we have in store for British Columbians.
Thank you, Premier Horgan. And now I'd like to ask my colleague Bruce Ralston to tell us a bit more about the electrification plan. Bruce is BC's Minister of Energy, Mines and Low Carbon Innovation. Bruce.
Thanks very much, Parliamentary Secretary Greene. I'm pleased to join you, Premier Horgan, and BC Hydro's Chris O'Reilly on the territory of the Musqueam, Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. Our government and BC Hydro share common goals to shape a clean energy future, support existing clean energy innovation in British Columbia, and bring new clean energy to our province. As the Premier has outlined, BC Hydro's electrification plan sets out ambitious actions and investments that will help us achieve these important goals together with British Columbians. We plan to use BC's clean power advantage, the power of water, to transition away from using fossil fuels like gasoline, diesel, and natural gas to using clean electricity. Over the next 5 years, BC Hydro plans to spend more than $260 million to advance electrification here in British Columbia. This includes more than $190 million to promote fuel switching in homes, buildings, transportation, and industry. Homeowners can benefit from new top-up incentives that could save them an additional $3,000 over existing rebates on an electric heat pump if they're switching from natural gas. Our province leads the country with more than 60,000 light-duty electric vehicles on BC roads, and that number is growing fast. Therefore, we plan to more than triple the number of public fast charging stations by 2025, so EV drivers will have more places to get a quick charge as they travel around the province. We're also providing more than $5 million in incentives and other supports to help businesses move forward with commercial building retrofits and the electrification of new buildings. There's more than $60 million in incentives for industrial fuel switching to encourage our most energy-intensive industries like mining, forest products, and pulp and paper to use less gas and diesel and more electricity to run their operations. As companies around the world look for ways to reduce emissions and improve their environmental profile, BC's clean electricity and strong climate policies look more and more attractive. The plan seizes on that opportunity with more than $50 million to attract new clean industry and investment here to British Columbia. These are just a few of the many programs and incentives included in BC Hydro's new electrification plan. And as the Premier noted, by increasing demand and selling more electricity, BC Hydro rates will be lower than they would have been otherwise. This plan is a win for all British Columbians. BC Hydro is the cornerstone of our clean energy future. This electrification plan builds on the enormous contributions BC Hydro has already made as we work together to reduce emissions and achieve our Clean BC targets. The plan will help people and business take action to lower their environmental footprint and contribute to the fight against climate change. It will attract new investment and innovation to British Columbia, generating economic development and creating good, sustainable jobs. Our government looks forward to working with BC Hydro, Indigenous peoples, stakeholders and communities around the province to implement the plan and power more and more of our lives with water. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Ralston. Chris O'Reilly is the President and CEO of BC Hydro, and I'd invite Chris to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you, Parliamentary Secretary Greene. So I also want to acknowledge that we're here today on the traditional territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. We're very privileged to be in a relationship with all three peoples. We're very proud of the work we've done on reconciliation with them, and it gives us hope for the future in this week that we mark the first day marking the Truth and Reconciliation Commission work. This is an exciting day for BC Hydro and for all of BC. I want to thank Premier Horgan and Minister Ralston for their support for the electrification plan. For decades, BC's dams and generating stations have been providing clean electricity for homes, for businesses, and for industries. The impacts of climate change, though, continue to confront us. One of the most visible and tragic impacts has been the effect of extreme weather here in BC, the drought conditions and heat wave and fires that caused so much devastation this past summer. British Columbians are looking for ways to make change. Thanks to the clean power advantage we have here in BC, we are well positioned to act on climate change and to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. BC Hydro has been supporting electrification initiatives for a number of years, but our electrification plans aims to increase awareness of existing programs and develop new programs to address the barriers to electrification that exist. Through financial incentives, programs, and studies, BC Hydro is offering practical ways for businesses, residents, and industry to make a difference. We have a strong history of delivering on plans to help our customers make good decisions around energy and shaping the province's energy future. The Power Smart program that was created in 1989 helps our customers manage their demand for electricity. And the program encourages energy conservation and energy efficiency and has yielded great results for our province for many years. It gives BC Hydro customers the tools and the information they need to make a difference. The electrification plan marks the biggest evolution and milestone in Power Smart in more than 30 years. And we're building on that experience and the success of our conservation programs to again encourage people to use the resources wisely to have the biggest impact. But today, WISE also means using clean electricity to reduce our carbon emissions. In addition to helping existing customers switch, we're also rising to the challenge to bring in new customers to power their businesses with clean electricity from BC Hydro. Globally, companies are seeking to improve their environmental and social and governance profile, and because of our clean power, BC is well positioned to attract new energy-intensive companies. As part of the electrification plan, we will work to ensure it's easier for new customers to connect to our grid. And this move to power our existing economy with clean electricity and attract new customers will help British Columbians by keeping rates affordable. The programs are designed to complement and build upon existing actions and initiatives funded by government and by BC Hydro that are focused on reducing carbon emissions and help support the environmental and economic objectives in the province's Clean BC Climate Action Plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris, for all that you and everyone at BC Hydro does for your commitment to a cleaner, brighter, and more sustainable future powered by water. As Parliamentary Secretary for Environment, I am so thankful to have BC Hydro as a working partner for our government to use BC's clean electricity to reduce emissions and stimulate the low-carbon economy and create jobs. You are playing a vital role in Clean BC, and this electrification plan is an important piece as we develop our roadmap to 2030, our detailed plan to meet Clean BC's emissions and clean economy targets. This is the only planet we have. Climate change is real, and it is upon us. Now is the time to seize the opportunity to reduce emissions and grow our low-carbon economy. Thank you all for coming, and I'm going to turn it over now to our moderator for any questions from reporters. Thank you.